BMW X2 Review. What is it? It's hard to imagine a car that needs less explaining than the BMW X2. It's a lower, sleeker, sportier, and slightly less roomy counterpart to the X1. You know, like the X4 is to the X3, or the X6 to the X5. So it's a crossover for people who are willing to compromise on backseat and boot space, though not that much. In return, they get sleeker looks and a slightly sportier drive. Gotcha. What's it up against? Well, since the X1 faces up to the likes of the Audi Q3, Mercedes GLA, and indeed the Jaguar E-Pace, then BMW's official hype talks of this being the vanguard in some sort of new category. But ask the man who led the project and he's candid, its main rival is the Range Rover Evoque. A vehicle that the Germans were surprisingly slow in challenging. The Evoque sales have put a vast amount of butter on Land Rover's bread, and the X2s haven't been too shabby for BMW either. In 2021, it shifted 311,928 versions of the X1 and X2 across the globe, which puts the little X just behind the 5 Series and 6 Series, 326K, Big Brother's X3 and X4, 414K, and the 3 Series and 4 Series, just under 500,000. This'll be bought on style though, right? Indeed. It doesn't look like a shrunken X4 or X6, which to most eyes is a mercy. The tail is shorter and more vertical than theirs, to make it more parkable because it's aimed at urban people. BMW has simplified the surfaces along the sides. If you like designer speak, the BMW pencil operatives call it precision with poetry. Whereas the more frantic creases of the X4 were romantic. Remember flame surfacing? It's not just surfacing that's new. The wheel arches have gone a little countarch on us. The absence of a window behind the rear door leaves space for a wide pillar punctuated by a BMW badge. They say this alludes to classic BMW coupes, including the 3.0 CSL Batmobile. Could it also be because otherwise you might not, from the side, immediately recognize it as a BMW at all? At the back, an outer plastic skin on the tailgate allows its surface to be flush with the bumper. Insurance companies don't like vulnerable steel to come out flush. The tail lamps have a new to BMW border increase, see the Ford EcoSport for details. Up front, the kidney grills have been effectively inverted, wider at the base than the top to make the thing apparently sniff the road. A 2020 update refined the sides and ditched the round fog lights that sat just underneath the LEDs. What about the interior? Inside, you can have plain cloth or leather, or go all rucksack with mesh fabrics, suede inserts and contrast stitching. Copy that. What's going on underneath? It sits on BMW's transverse engine platform. All very familiar stuff. Mostly 4-cylinder engines, including one petrol 3-cylinder hybrid, no 6s ever, and some odd, but front-wheel drive for the base cars.